I think tone has got to be the most important thing for any guitar player aside from the guitar that's in their hands. It's one of those things that it makes you play better when you have the right tone. It's all about feel, and if you don't have that, it's not inspiring to play. You don't want to write, you don't want to jam, and for me, like, having those key elements are so important. And, and I'm talking about, like, not only like, gain and volume, like those are obviously important, but like harmonic response, things like that. For me, like, I need it to feel like the instrument is alive. I want to smash the guitar's body. I want to, like, do pinch harmonics, all those kinds of things, and I want them to come out loud and with tons of sustain. And that's one of my favorite things about Bias and Bias FX. It's all there. It feels like my amp when I'm playing live. I can remember a couple years ago I started hearing a lot about Positive Grid and Bias and Bias FX, and how they were making really great amp simulators, whether it was on your phone or a plug-in for your computer. And I really respected the opinions of the people that told me about what Bias could do. And of course I was curious. I've always used amp simulators in the studio, trying to write riff ideas and stuff like that. But really, like, the angle that Positive Grid is coming from, it's like you can go in, you can change the type of tubes you're playing, you can change the preamps, and the newest thing for me is really messing around with Bias FX. I don't need a pedal board in front of me to get good tone. You're not just looking for one sound when you're playing guitar. You want a bunch of different sounds. At least I do, and that helps me be creative.
That's crazy sounding.
Okay. That is amazing. It's like pure Armageddon. I love it.
One of the really important things for me, like, not only when I'm working on Cancer Bats music, but when I'm producing other guitar players, other bass players, I need something that I can record them immediately with. When I have an idea for a riff, I don't want to spend 20 minutes on setup. I want to spend 2 minutes and plug my guitar in, get a program up and running, pull up a plug-in, and record that idea. And that's so important. Whether I'm recording other guitar players, when I'm producing their music, and those guys didn't bring enough gear, I don't have to bust out my own stuff or call up my buddies and say, hey, come bring all your best pedals, I need them now. I can avoid all that, and it's there immediately when we need to capture a performance.